Hello Casio fans from all over the world. Before starting this video, I would kindly ask to like and subscribe. Doing this, you will be able to reach faster my content. In today's video, I will try to bring and present you a vintage watch that is pioneer in regards automatic time adjustment, aka radio control clock. RCC means that your watch gets radio signal from an emitter on short or long band waves. This is almost as old as the radio, but the first time to be used for general consumer market was believed to be in 1986. The producer was Junghans with its RC1 model. I have a model here which looks very similar to the first. The first wristwatch was the Mega 1 from Junghans, released in 1990. Then comes Casio with their waveceptor series, used on this FKT-110. This was released in 2000, and the first to use this feature was the FKT-100, released in 1995. If you will stay until the end of the video, I will be presenting a cool representative feature for this watch. So stay tuned and let's dive in. The case of the watch is made of plastic in two color tones. I have the version with navy blue and gray. Other versions were available also. The area next to the shorter strap is bulky, and this is because of the receiving antenna of the watch which is built in. It's written radio controlled, and on the opposite area it's written waveceptor. In regards to the dimensions, I would say that for that time it was a chunky watch, but considering its feature it is understandable. We have a diameter of 45 mm and a lug-to-lug of 48, 50 if you measure from the edges. It is also a little high, so over 13 mm. The display is similar with the AW series, which is a hybrid between analog and digital view. The black digits on the white background makes it easy to read, and the digital screen is not that small compared to other models from today's. If we take a look at the glass, I would say that it is acrylic, but a qualitative one because we see only small scratches compared with the entire case, which seems more worn up. I would not like to bore you and present each mode and how it is used, but for this time I am afraid I have to, because it's a little different than what we are used on the Casio models. The timekeeping mode lets you see the time in analog and the date in digital. Pressing once the adjust lets you see the time in digital as well. Pressing receive will show the last day when the time was received or manually triggered. If it is not showing you anything, as in my case, this means that there were no records for this. Long pressing adjust will let you set the time. This is exactly how we are used on most of the Casios, but in addition we have the antenna blinking, which means that we can enable daily automatic time adjust or not. Long pressing receive will trigger the watch to automatic adjust. This antenna indicates the power of the signal. If it is low, you will get an error message and the time will not be adjusted. The receiving signal comes from a city near Frankfurt in Germany. This works for a radius of 1000 kilometers, and it may be disturbed by mountains or other interferences. Now, the next two modes are related to some features that today we do not need, but 24 years ago it might have been cool. Pressing mode once will enter in the day counter menu. This feature lets you store 5 target dates, or let's call them reminders. And if you press adjust, the watch will count the remaining days until target date is reached. For example, if I set the Christmas date as target, the watch will count the remaining days until Santa comes. The second mode is dedicated for contacts. Casio calls them telememo. You can store up to 20 names and 4 numbers. Third mode is related to alarms and the hourly signals. You can save up to 3 alarms. Fourth mode is for the stopwatch. It has only the split function. Fifth mode is related to the analog time set. Normally, the analog watch is automatically adjusted after you set up the time from timekeeping mode. It might happen that these are misaligned. Therefore, it's best to set up the digital time first, then to set up the analog time. I would call this mode calibration mode for the analog watch. Normally this watch comes in a resin strap and also in a bracelet. It would have been nice if I have had the bracelet version. Well, I have only the resin one, but you can clearly see that this is not the original. It was hard for me to get a strap that would fit perfectly due to its strange dimensions. We see a lug width of 19 mm and the edges of 24. Normally it should have been 18 with 20 or 24, or something in between. Well, thanks to a local flea market from which I bought this Shine Diver watch and borrowed this lovely strap that fits perfectly. The back case is also a little different than what we are used to. We see the CE engraved on it. Never seen this aspect on other Casios. Yes, we have the module and model name next to the Casio logo and the 10 bar pressure resistance. This time we have the Y. On other watches we had DK or EA. Again, if someone of you knows what this means, please leave a comment. While trolling on YouTube, I found out that Casio has around 3 types of backlights. The F91 green LED light, which is the worst. Then we have the blue electroluminescence from A168 and the amber light from the latest models, triggered by 2 high-performance LEDs. This watch has a light that looks like the EL from the G-Shock with the greenish tone. And yes, Casio do not use anymore the EL light only for several vintage models, where they want to use the retro aspect of the watch. The reason is for sure, energy efficiency. To be honest, I bought this watch because I have found it for 5 euros. A version in good condition is retailed on eBay for more than 100 euros. I guess that 20 years ago, as a teen, it would have been nice and trendy to wear this watch having these cool features. But now, it's great only to have it in a collection. Thanks for staying with me for this video and wish you a great day.